Looks like we're going to witness something pretty exciting here. The train just dropped me off 25 miles from town. I'm currently riding back. To find out what this is all about, continue watching. This is known as the bike train. That train is going to take myself and my bike on a 25-mile train ride. It's going to drop us off, and then I'm going to have to ride 25 miles back to town. To find out what this experience is like, all you got to do is come along with me. Before we board, let me tell you a little bit about what's involved with this experience. So as you can tell, this is put on by Reading Northern Railroad here in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. And this is known as the Lehigh Gorge Bike Train. This is a specialized run that runs certain weekends throughout the spring and summer months here in Jim Thorpe. And runs Saturdays and Sundays, and they do 2 trips a day. I'm on the 9:15 one in the morning. They also do one, I think, around 12 or 12:15. To order tickets, you do need to call in advance, and I'll have the link down below to get the dates that they're operating and to order tickets. It's $39 if you want to ride either as just a passenger. This is a longer train ride, much longer than the normal gorge ride. This will take you to Whitehaven, Pennsylvania. So if you want to ride as a passenger, you could do round trip, $39. For myself, as long as you bring your own bike, again, $39. I'll ride the train out to Whitehaven and get dropped off. If you want to do the bike train and don't have a bike, they do have bike rentals for an additional fee. I think it's around $66. But again, the information is on the website, but they will provide a bike for you if you want to do the bike train and don't have your own bike or can't bring your own bike. But this is going to be a neat experience because it's going to take me further past Penn Haven Junction, an area that I've never seen either by train or by trail. And I know there's going to be a lot of things to see along the way as we ride back. It is a little bit of a downgrade, I think a 2% downgrade, so it's going to be a nice, easy, comfortable ride. It's not going to be strenuous, and here in the morning, it's about 65 degrees overcast, so we won't get overheated. But I'm going to be boarding in just a few minutes. It is a coach seat, and I'll just give you some highlights along the way until we get dropped off. And then from there, I'll bring you aboard the bike, and we'll make some pit stops every so often if we find anything interesting along the way. So I'll see you somewhere on the train in just a moment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead. To the right.
We'll collect them inside.
Okay. I have 3 tips I want to share with you to make your bike train experience that much more enjoyable. Stay tuned to the end of the video to find out what they are. Alright, we've got our seat here in the coach car. We're going to be departing in a few minutes. I'm not going to show you much along the way to at least Penn Haven Junction because we've seen that numerous times on my videos. And I'll just give you a couple jump-ins here and there, share my thoughts, but most of it's going to be the bike ride itself. So once we do unboard, get the bikes off the train, we then start our 25-mile journey back here to Jim Thorpe. I'm pretty excited about it. I know there's a lot of cool things to see along the way. Just to give you a good idea as to what this section of rail trail is like. I have ridden it before to Penn Haven Junction, but I've not seen anything past there. So we'll be seeing it together for the very first time. Car hosts made their way through, letting us know we can open the windows, get a little fresh air. We got about 5 minutes until we depart. I also ran into our good friend Jamie Macon, who's now a car host here on the Jim Thorpe LGSR. Unfortunately, she's not riding the bike train today, not working the bike train, but I did see her before boarding. It was great to run into her and see her in her uniform.
The conductor has called all aboard, so now as we leave downtown Jim Thorpe and making our journey to Lehigh Gorge State Park, we ask you to sit back, relax, and take in all the area has to offer. Also, at the Jim Thorpe Rail Yard, you'll see our turntable on the left-hand side. The turntable is used by popular train excursions and our team locomotive Reading Northern, Reading and Lehigh Division was constructed by the railroad and expedite route ready.
And just like that, we're in Whitehaven, Pennsylvania. It took exactly 1 hour. Departed 9:15. Just stepped off the train at 10:16. I have to go to the gondola to get our bike, and then we begin our journey 25 miles back to Jim Thorpe. Now, one thing I can tell you is that if you want a long train ride, I recommend buying a ticket for the bike train because there's a handful of passengers on board riding it back. You're going to have nearly an empty train on the way back, and it's going to be approximately a 2-hour train ride. So it's going to be a good bang for your buck. But in the meantime, I'm going to get my bike and we're going to get situated, and we're going to see what there is to check out as far as interesting, unusual, even fascinating things along this 25-mile stretch of trail. Here we go. Today I'm riding the Engwe Engine Pro. It's my pretty much go-to bike for longer range rides, and I tell you, it's so convenient. They take care of the bikes, loading, unloading. All you gotta do is just wait for it, and then you depart back down the trail. As you can see too, it's a newly renovated area. Oh, we've got a locomotive on the back. I didn't even realize that. Number 2531. Pulling it back to Jim Thorpe. This is a newly redone area though, with parking, the pavement here. They have restrooms down here, which is there's a long line, and it's a loading unloading area too for kayakers and rafters. So it's a beautiful area here in Whitehaven. You could come here with your car to walk, bike, raft, fish, whatever you want, but it's recently redone and looks fantastic. Passing underneath Interstate 80. It's also a great place too to come watch some train activity. I think I'll be doing that in the future on the elevated line right up here to our right. Workers from all nations. I think this is a canal. Whitehaven Lock is 23 feet high, more than 3 times the usual height. It is entirely satisfactory. It takes 2 minutes to fill and 2 to empty. We could pass the boat in 3 minutes as I had promised myself, about as quick as a lock of 5 feet lift using the old plan. Folks are pleased with it. This is from Josiah White, Mach Chunk 1836. If you want to read the rest of that, you could pause the video. But I didn't even realize this was here. This is a really big lock, 23 feet. Looks actually larger than that. Wow. That is a big, deep canal lock. Pretty impressive. And others are coming down here too to check it out. Yeah, it's just hiding here along the trail. As mentioned, this is going to be completely uncharted territory for me, both with the train ride out and the ride back. I don't know what we're going to come across. All I know is I'm going to keep my eyes peeled like I always do and try to spot unique things like this. Now realistically, if you want, you can just basically beeline it right back to town and get back there as quick as possible. But for me, I'm taking a slow, leisurely ride. Even though this bike of mine could go up to 30 miles an hour, I won't be going past probably 12 or 15. And as mentioned, this is a downgrade slope. I'm actually coasting right now, so although there are flat, low areas where you will have to exert some energy to pedal, but for the most part, if you're on a traditional bike, it won't be a strenuous ride. If you're on an e-bike, it's going to be a very comfortable, relaxing ride, whether you pedal or use throttle only. But I would say, I'm surprised how many e-bikes came on this trip. There was probably at least half, if not more, e-bikes than traditional bikes. So they're just becoming ever more popular, and I love being able to share them with you to let you know what options are available. So if you're an e-bike owner, this is very e-bike friendly, I'll tell you that. Here's something creative, an old post, paint it as an eagle. Pretty creative. Heard the distinct sound of falling water, and look what we found here. A little miniature oasis. The water's almost coming out from the rocks up on top there, probably filtered through the rock system. I would assume probably completely safe drinking water. Some gorgeous moss here though, and it's just pulling up here right along the trail. Nice little shady aquatic area. I'm not making a whole lot of progress. I keep stopping at all these little findings here. There's a bigger, more impressive waterfall that's cascading from probably 50 feet up, going down different rock falls. This would be a great spot too for a slow shutter photograph if I had my Nikon with me. So I think I'll be returning in the future at some point to do some photo walks along this trail. Oh, train's returning to Jim Thorpe. It's going to beat us back. But I did hear that conductor Bill Solomon, rest in peace, did the bike train, had his bike, the first one off, raced back, and actually beat the train back to Jim Thorpe. Okay, I'm definitely returning with my camera in the future. There is some amazing, beautiful, gorgeous scenery here, including another spectacular waterfall. As someone who is a Pisces, the combination of water and nature's carpet just makes me smile. One thing I'll be doing as well when I return, I'll be bringing myself a lunch, sitting here and enjoying it right next to this waterfall. What a view. Pull over once again because off to our left here are some gigantic supports of a former bridge. If I'm not mistaken, and if I am, I'll put the information on the screen. I think this is a former Lehigh Valley line that came across here, but these are gigantic. There's one here, one in the middle of the river, one on the other side, and these are extremely large. I wish I could show you a size comparison, but take my word for it, these are one of the larger supports for a former bridge that came across here, and the only thing that's left behind now is just these giant concrete columns. And another grouping of bikers coming. And I just spotted there's 3 supports over there and 1 over there as well. So it's at least a total of 4. This one's just hiding in the woods. There's a poster that says Hayes Creek, Rockport is 6.3 miles, Glenanoco 18.9 miles. And the Jim Thorpe station is not far beyond that. And so far we covered 4.8 miles. Not sure what that was. There was a bunch of little kids and a family going over old train bridge. There was a bunch of kids with the family in some type of little rockfall area. It looks like a site that was excavated, maybe looking for fossils or even crystals or something. Didn't bother to stop for that, but something to note that we passed by. So what do you guys think so far? Are you enjoying this? This is better than I could have even imagined. It's just such a nice, scenic, relaxing ride. Everyone seems to be friendly, having a good time, enjoying themselves as well. And I picked the perfect day. It's in the 60s, overcast, just nice and comfortable. And so far, we've gone 6 miles, and I'm still at 100% battery. I'm on eco mode just because we are going downhill. Oh, from here you can get a view of the rail line over there that we took to get here. So the line is on the other side of the Lehigh River still. Eventually up ahead we'll be crossing over the bridge and we'll be side by side, trail and tracks. Got a grouping of us here, and the reason everyone's pulled over is because of that distinct sound. We have a magnificent waterfall. This is known as Buttermilk Falls, one of many falls which are named Buttermilk Falls. This one here though is along the trail, about 10 miles in from where we started in Whitehaven. You can actually feel the breeze coming off. It's a nice cool breeze. And what we're standing on is a former train bridge. I think it was a double line that came through here probably. And it just spills over, goes down into the Lehigh River. This spot allows you to see the construction of the bridges, stone abutment, steel beams, and its purpose is for that. It's a good comparison right here. You can see how large it is compared to the individuals in front of us. And he is riding in style. That is my first official Buttermilk Falls sighting. I've heard of them. I know there's plenty of them known as Buttermilk Falls. This is the very first one I've ever seen in person. But it won't be the last time I see it, that's for certain. Oh, looks like we're going to witness something pretty exciting here. That looks like so much fun. This is known as the Rockport Access. Here you can find parking, restrooms, loading, unloading area for rafting, kayakers. Seems like a pretty popular spot. There's also a sign here letting you know about the dangers of this section of the river with the flow of the gauge, raft requirements. And this bridge here, which was a former rail bridge, now has more water flowing underneath it into the river. And a lot of rapids out there for those individuals to navigate. Currently 11.7 miles from where we started, and I know you can't see it, but in the river it's loaded with rafters and kayakers. Starting at Rockport here, it's a very busy area for some aquatic activities. Stopped off at another little rail bridge here. This is known as Luke's Falls. And there it is. Certainly a place to cool off in the summer. I could feel the spritz, feel the cool breeze, and you have that awesome view. I almost passed it by. I just left Luke's Falls, and look at this. This, I believe, is an old water tower for filling the steam locomotives. Completely made out of stone. Complete circle. I believe this would be the base of it. I think the tank itself would be on the top of it. Could have been either wooden or steel, I believe. I'm almost certain that's what it is. There is windows down here. But that's what it appears anyways. I know there's one of these near the CNJ turntable closer to the Nesquehoning Bridge by the Jim Thorpe tunnel area. Yeah, this is pretty neat though. It's just hiding back here. I had no clue it was here. Another unexpected, interesting find. That bike is back there. I spotted something that caught my attention, and it could be nothing, but I do see a dark hole up ahead. This could just be a rock overhang. Could be a cave. Just an overhang. For a second I thought it actually went somewhere. Looks can be deceiving. Oh well, at least we know for certain. We are currently halfway back. I'm showing 12.4 miles on my bike, and I'm pretty certain there's people already back. But currently, let's see, probably started about 10:30 on my bike. After I got unloaded, it's currently 12:12. I'm estimating I'm probably gonna get back around 1:30. But I am certainly taking my time, enjoying all the sights along the way, and just cruising at 13 miles an hour. But I'm pretty certain if you wanted to, you can make it back in probably an hour. I had to turn around and show you this one. Really close to the trail here. And it's like cascading down steps. It's like a step fall almost. And it starts up for as high as we could see. And this section of rock here is actually drilled and blasted. I do see drill markings. So this was cut away to make the rail line, which I believe there was 2 rails here back in the day. One here towards the right, one towards the left. But these rock faces that we do see, a lot of them are for the results of drilling and blasting to create the rail line. The one thing I'm blown away by is the amount of mountain streams and waterfalls and trickling pockets and pools of water. It's so incredibly beautiful. It's lush, it's green, and it's just overly surprising how nice of a stretch of trail this is between Whitehaven and Jim Thorpe. I mean, it's spectacular. The trail is nicely manicured. It's remote, but there's so many areas to stop and have, like, you know, a lunch if you want to. If you want to stop and take pictures, you want to stop and just have a moment to yourself. I am really surprised, especially I would say between Rockport and here. I'm just under 14 miles in. If you love nature and water and scenic things like this with train tracks across the way, you will absolutely love this trail. I know I do. I will be riding this many more times in the future. Those of you watching, have you ever done river rafting? If so, let me know how your experience was. It's one thing I've never done. I've been in a kayak before, never did river rafting. That may change in the future. I wanted to chime in here. Something funny happened off camera. Funny to me, at least. I was riding by and there was a older man and woman. I say older than me, probably 50s or 60s. And they were stopping, taking a break. And they had traditional bikes. And I was just coasting by, cruising by on throttle only. Which is one of the benefits of having an e-bike. When your feet get sore and tired, use the throttle. And he shouts across, "That's cheating." All I did was smile. I don't know what the hell to say to that, because e-bikes are fantastic, whether you have mobility or health issues, or if you just want to get out and enjoy things like this without having to really exert yourself. E-bikes are fantastic. They're a game changer. There's nothing stopping anyone from getting an e-bike if they want to, but for the simple fact saying that it's cheating because you have a manual powered bike, human powered, I don't know, I just don't get it. A bike is a bike. One has power assist, one doesn't. But you're still out here. I'm still pedaling, I'm still getting exercise, but I'm not having to exert myself like he is. Not having to take as many breaks like he is. So, despite what he or others may think, I love e-bikes. They're fantastic. And I plan on having one for the rest of my life. Not sure if you could see it, but I finally went down to 99%, and we are almost 15 miles in. Sorry, 98%. If you're looking for a bike that has incredible long range, I would definitely suggest the Engwe Engine Pro. Yes, we are going downhill, but still the motor is working, and I have it on eco mode, pedal assist 2, cruising at 13 miles an hour, which is like perfect for this. But this is a long range bike, and the only downfall that I don't like, but I've become used to it, is that the throttle output only works in conjunction with the pedal assist mode, so you don't get full throttle output through the entire range of pedal assist. So, for example, pedal assist 1, you're only going to go as fast as pedal assist 1 allows you to go. If you want to go full speed, near 30 miles an hour on throttle, you will have to put in the pedal assist 5. If you get used to that, this is a great bike. If you want full range throttle through all pedal assists, well, this isn't the bike for you. Just wanted to point it out, just to give you an update. This is one of my favorite bikes. Despite that little hiccup with the throttle, this bike I feel comfortable taking anywhere and on incredibly long trips. Our next area of interest brings us to a really neat looking rocky landscape here. You could pretty much get underneath this overhang and, if need be protected from the elements. Somebody looks like he had some fires here. And it's really large as well, as you can see by me walking around here. It's a big rock face and overhang. Really interesting geographical feature. And look down here, some different shades of the carpet. That's like thick carpet too. I mean, it's like, looks like 70s shag carpet. That's fantastic. It's got a great environment to grow down here because it's shady and it's wet and it's protected. I found this little platform here jutting out from the sides, and yep, it is a great view here. I'll tell you what, if you have friends or family coming down in the rafts, this would be the place to see them in action. This is so nice. Train tracks are over there. Big open stretch of water, the winding bend. Yeah, this might be one of my new favorite places along the trail. Gotta be careful, obviously. One wrong step, you'll be down there, but what a spot to hang out and take in the views. Just arrived at Penn Haven Junction, which is the stopping point for the normal LGSR, Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway. The second bike train, I think, departed at 12:30. It is 12:53. Should be approaching here pretty soon. And this is where the train crosses over the Lehigh River and separates from the trail that we're on. The entire time we sat on the opposite side of the river. From here on out, we're going to be on next to the tracks on this side of the river. So I can hang out here for a few minutes, get a drink, get some pictures, and hopefully, if we're lucky, fingers crossed, we'll catch the train approaching and passing by. Even if we don't get it here, we'll still see it on our way back to town, if it hasn't arrived here yet. So a little bit of train action mixed in between. Standing over here nearby the bridge allows you to see that this was a double main line coming through. Second set of tracks would have been right there. only single use now, but the ties are still there from the old set, and you can see the old insulators on the telegraph poles. Oh, I do hear a horn. And that is Norfolk Southern over there, which I've never seen a Norfolk Southern train run on that line for as many times I've ridden the LGSR. Mission accomplished. We caught the second bike train in action. How far are we in? We are 18.2 miles in so far, so roughly 7 miles or so to go.
Hanging out.
It's a good sized one.
Yeah.
Was he here the whole time?
Yeah.
We think so.
Jeez.
I just noticed him when I was sitting over there. I was looking at my bike and I was like, that don't look right over there.
It's a good thing you didn't sit down on this side, you know?
Right?
Snakes. Why does it have to be snakes?
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
You go first.
So right up ahead is where we cross over, and we'll now be on the opposite side of the rails all the way back into Jim Thorpe. We're 22 miles into this, 3 miles to go. We passed under the pipeline a little bit ago, the fiber optic cable line, and we should be coming up to the rock cut area where the bridge is, where we can see the turnhole tunnel. We're at 25 miles, but we're not back yet, but we're close. I think I remember Jamie telling me that when you get dropped off at the Whitehaven stop that it's closer to 26 miles. But we do have one more reason to stop here, because as we were taking the train out, I was peering off to the side here and spotted something that stood out to me that looks man-made. And I've ridden past this area before on both bike, scooter, and train, and don't remember seeing it, but I saw it today, and it's right over here. Want to find out what it is? Well, me too. Let's go check it out. Looking through the foliage here, you can see a rectangular shape of something and a railing. Now, what could this be? Okay, this one has me stumped. There is a platform here, a little railing. It's like a little person platform. It's only about 3 feet high. It's wooden planks next to this, which are chutes. They're separated, but they're open underneath. It's all interconnected. I don't know if that's the true bottom or not, or if it is filled in. There is obviously plates and anchor bolts on top, where something was on top of it, I believe. This is a little slide that comes out right there as if something was to be dropped in there, whether it be water or material. Let's see if we can get a look on the other side, lower down in the embankment, and see. But it's a type of holding tank, I believe. Whether it's for like separating silt or something, or I really don't know. All I know is that that goes right down there. Can't really see much except that the base of it's right down there, so it doesn't go all that deep. Maybe 3-4 feet. There is the little platform, and it's that far away from the river, maybe about 50 feet, and maybe about 35-40 feet from the rail trail. But would love your input. If you have any idea what this is or what you think it could have been used for, feel free to share your thoughts. But this is another thing that we just found today for the very first time along a very familiar section of trail. Well, Jamie was right, 26 miles. So we did 1 mile more than I originally planned. I'm going to share with you how the bike performed, what my final battery percentage is, and my 3 tips as to how you can make this bike train experience an enjoyable one for yourself. Oh, look at that. Already Caesar in town. And the Lehigh Gorge train is up here at the station, led by number 2013. Finally came to a stop, reached the destination back here in Jim Thorpe. I'm directly behind the caboose here, which is going to be departing soon, so we may hear that as I'm doing my talking here. Now, where I stopped, right at this point with my bike, we went 26.5 miles, and I'm at 77% battery. I am really impressed. This is by far my farthest ride on an e-bike, farthest ride on the Engine Pro. And I'm going to say it again, it was a downhill grade. It wasn't really pushing it at all, but I was pedaling 90% of the time. I was typically in pedal assist 2, sometimes 3, once in a while on throttle. So I have enough battery to go probably another 26 miles if I wanted to. So the bike certainly did the job, got me back in one piece, no issues at all, and even made some people upset and jealous, saying I was cheating. But that'd be like me saying, well, you're burning more calories than me. How fair is that? It's my choice to have an e-bike. It's his choice to have a traditional bike. But I do have 3 tips that I think will help make your bike train experience an enjoyable one. So first one, if you are bringing your own bike, park at the Lehigh Gorge Park area near the Nesquehoning Bridge and the Jim Thorpe Tunnel. There's completely free parking there. All you have to do is ride your bike to the station here. It's about a 2-mile ride, and you'll save yourself on the parking fee of parking here by the station. Tip number 2, I recommend doing the earlier train. 2 trains run each day for the weekend that they're doing the bike train. 9:15 is the one I would pick for 2 reasons. One, because you're going to beat the heat of the day. Although today was a really mild, comfortable day, you come in the summer months, it's going to heat up. So coming earlier, you're going to beat the hotter temperatures. Number 2, you're going to beat the crowds here in Jim Thorpe as well. The town is much less empty than it is in the afternoon if you come in the morning. Tip number 3 is regarding bathrooms. When you're taking the train ride out to Whitehaven to get dropped off, my recommendation is use the onboard bathroom on the train just before you get off. I saw lines at the bathroom at Whitehaven that you'd probably be waiting anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. So use the onboard bathrooms. They are there, they are clean, they're taken care of, and it'll save you the time and delay of having to wait to use the bathroom once you're on board. Once you do leave Whitehaven, the only other bathroom access is at Rockport Junction or Station. I think it's Rockport Junction, where we saw the kayakers and rafters and the parking area. Those are the only other bathroom facilities that they actually have facilities. Otherwise, you're going to be squatting in the woods. I do have a bonus tip for you, and this is what I learned the hard way. Bring lunch, or bring a snack. I did bring water, but I am starving. I've been gone, let's see, we left about 10:30 after I got my bike. It's just before 3 p.m. Now, I obviously took my time. I stopped a bunch of places, and I really soaked it in. Realistically, you can make it back in an hour, but I also made a separate video too, so my day, which is much more longer than what the normal day would be for someone riding back. So bring food, bring a snack, use the picnic facilities like the picnic tables, the benches, the rocks, whatever you want, and really enjoy yourself. Take a break, get some food, get some water, get, satisfied with any hunger pains that you may have like me, and I think you'll have a much more enjoyable time. Now, I'm going to be back here again next month, and me and Jamie are going to be riding this together. I don't think I'll be filming for that, but I will definitely be back in the future to ride it because it's just an incredible ride. 26 miles is a good length, and the fact that Jim Thorpe LGSR takes care of everything is fantastic, whether you have your own bike or even to rent a bike. I'm even going to ride it again just for the train ride itself. $39 for a 2-hour round trip, and it's a really scenic and enjoyable ride on top of that. So anyways, guys, being my first time doing this, I had a blast. Got to see a lot of great things. Got to discover new things along the section of the trail that I haven't ever seen before. And we got to experience them together. That being said, I'm starving. I'm going to go into town probably to Molly McGuire's, get some food, and enjoy the rest of my time here in Jim Thorpe. If you did make it this far, thank you so very much for coming along for this adventure. I had a blast. Hope you did as well. Special shout out to the Reading and Northern team and crew and employees for putting this on and really making it an enjoyable day here in town. Any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Check out the link to their website if you want to get dates on their trips, when you could come do the bike train and buy tickets as well. All the information will be on the website. Until next time, everyone, I'll see you in the next video.